Hello everyone, this is AndresRestart, and this time we are talking about an apparent leaker who is teasing some big Nintendo announcements for this winter. What could they be? Well, that's what we're going to try and decipher today. And let me just take this quick opportunity to ask that if you've been enjoying my content or if you watched through this video and you've enjoyed it, to please subscribe and hit that notification bell. So the leaker in question is Samus Hunter on Twitter. Some of you may be familiar with Samus Hunter. They have a bit of a shaky history, so we should be careful about trusting them. However, in this past year of 2024, they've been 100% spot on. They've made 2 different teases in the past, and they've been totally accurate. They were the first to do it. They were even corroborated by Pioro, who's known to be one of the greatest Nintendo leakers of all time. So the 2 different leaks that they provided in the past, one was for Emio, the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club, and the other was for Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. So again, they're 2 for 2, and so I think it absolutely is reasonable to take a look at what they have to say now, and consider that they may also be 3 of 3 here, or perhaps 4 of 4, because it looks like they're teasing 2 different things. So here on Twitter, Samus Hunter says, "It may be a little early for this tweet, but winter is coming, and so new announcements." So before even jumping into the images, Samus Hunter is already preparing us to wait a little bit for these announcements. They are suggesting that these announcements aren't necessarily imminent. In other words, maybe they're not happening within a day or 2, but they are going to be happening sometime during this period of the winter. Now, because we are approaching December, where we have the Game Awards that is known to have different announcements, including even announcements from Nintendo, I do have to wonder if perhaps there could be something there. But taking a look at the images themselves, we see one for Link from Ocarina of Time playing his ocarina in the Skull House inside Kakariko Village. You see the little sculptural person there that's been cursed. And then we also have Donkey Kong from this CGI little cutscene from the beginning of Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Nintendo Wii. So then, I believe the first assumption people are going to make with this Ocarina of Time image is that Samus Hunter is teasing Ocarina of Time Remake. And let me just tell you, I do not believe that is at all what's being suggested here. And it's not because I don't think Ocarina of Time Remake isn't going to happen. I think it is going to happen. I've been theorizing it for a while. I've gained more and more confidence in this theory. But I think this would be a game that would be released on the Nintendo Switch 2, would be showcased on Switch 2 to highlight visuals and such, and would be a little bit removed from the recent Echoes of Wisdom, so likely closer to the 40th anniversary in 2026. It's just too soon. Nintendo hasn't revealed Switch 2 yet. I don't think that's what they're teasing here. But we'll come back to this image. The Donkey Kong one, to me, seems like a little bit of a safer interpretation. It's specifically for Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD comes out this January. And it's even Donkey Kong Country's anniversary later this month. So maybe for the anniversary, we're going to see some news on Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. We do need to get some more details on this remaster that's coming out in just a couple short months. However, Deniyaki on Twitter replied to this tease, or these set of teases from Samus Hunter, and asked, "Donkey Konga?" Samus Hunter responds by saying, "The DK picture is not for a game." So while I think it's actually a pretty good conclusion to make that this musical related Zelda image and this Donkey Kong image might be meaning just one new announcement for Donkey Konga, Samus Hunter saying that the Donkey Kong image is not for a game, but also is seemingly implying, or further implying, that these 2 images are 2 different announcements. Let's go back to the initial statement here. They said new announcements with an S, plural, more than one. So I think they're referring to 2 different things here with these 2 different images, and Samus Hunter here is seemingly further implying that by saying that the DK picture is not for a game. Perhaps also suggesting that the Zelda image is for a game. Maybe. But focusing on Donkey Kong first here. If this is not for a game, what could it be? Well, again, we still have a Donkey Kong Country anniversary coming up, but perhaps more importantly, next year, in the first half of the year, we're expected to see the opening of Super Nintendo World with the Donkey Kong Park expansion. Super Nintendo World in Orlando is opening this May. We may finally get to enjoy the Donkey Kong expansion to the park, provided there are no more delays. And if that's the case, perhaps Nintendo is going to want to deliver us some info on this Donkey Kong expansion to the park. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think that's probably a pretty exciting announcement. It is par for the course for the different things Samus Hunter has suggested. And it's not a game, but it's still Donkey Kong related that could happen this winter. You know, the season before spring where we're expected to see the opening to the park. It makes a lot of sense to me. But what some people might suggest is that maybe Samus Hunter's just teasing something smaller like more music for the Nintendo Music app. And personally, I doubt this. One, we haven't seen Samus Hunter tease any specific songs yet, and we did just recently get Donkey Kong Country 2 added. But also, we have already Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2 in the Music app. So they're showing a Donkey Kong Country image here. Now, maybe you want to take this to mean that they're teasing Donkey Kong Country Returns music to the Music app. That's possible, but I kind of doubt it. The Ocarina of Time image, some people might think, oh, that's got to be something related to Zelda music for the Music app, right? Well, we already have Ocarina of Time music. Now, they could technically add more, but I'm still skeptical that this is what they're teasing. Looking at what Samus Hunter has teased, they've teased actual game announcements, things of significance, things that I would call big announcements, updates to the Nintendo Music app, I'm not even sure are worth mentioning here. Not in this manner, at least. And actually, Samus Hunter did provide us with a little bit more today. I'll give you another hint for now. The Zelda picture is not a hint for a Zelda game. The picture is like a riddle for the title in question. Look at all the elements in that screen. So here Samus Hunter is essentially telling us that this is an image for a title of some kind, which many are likely going to assume is for a game, some kind of title. And so, looking at the image, we see webs, silk, Link is about to play a song. Could this perhaps be a tease for Silk Song? Finally, could we be getting some sort of significant announcement about Silk Song, perhaps a release date for the game, something we've been waiting years for? That would be one crazy tease from Samus Hunter, a huge thing. But it also wouldn't be something directly Nintendo related. Sure, it would be coming to Switch and a lot of Nintendo fans would be happy about this, but Samus Hunter has a history of teasing Nintendo announcements, and they're even using a lot of Nintendo imagery with this tweet. Now, perhaps Samus Hunter is expanding here, perhaps they want to be a bit more cryptic and not obvious. Maybe they would have access to information beyond just Nintendo, including perhaps an announcement regarding Silk Song. So I'm not going to rule out this possibility, but I want to consider some other options here. I'm having a hard time thinking what this might mean in terms of a game. I could make some really big stretches here, but they would be just that, really big stretches. But here's something that might actually make sense, and it's not for a game, but actually still Zelda related. What if this is a tease for Zelda movie news straight from Nintendo? So my reasoning is simple, and it is still a stretch admittedly, but perhaps not by as much. What if this is suggesting a Zelda movie cast reveal, and perhaps also a title reveal as well, so we would have a title. And actually, even if we don't get a title, this still would be teasing a title, just one we don't know about yet. Right now, we're about a year removed from the official announcement of the live-action Zelda movie. There's a very good chance that the cast has already been selected for the Zelda movie, and they could be revealing that around this time of the year, sometime during the winter. And looking at the image, Link is about to play a song, he has his character behind him. Perhaps they're going to put together an ensemble, maybe they are an ensemble, a group of musicians. And what's interesting about that is that they are trying to put together an ensemble here. An ensemble can also be interpreted as a cast for a show, or perhaps even a movie. So those are my best guesses. This is either maybe Samus Hunter expanding to something like Silk Song, or this is maybe for a Zelda movie announcement. And the Donkey Kong thing, I think, is an update on the Donkey Kong expansion to the park. Perhaps it's something else, and I'm all for what that might be, so if you have other ideas, let me know in the comments below. This is AndresRestart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.